Hello everybody, I hope you are all doing well. So this is Amira from Global Opportunities, and today we are going to have our we are going to talk about the DAAD scholarships. It's the scholarships that you are all. I hope that you all can see me. So tell us in the comments. Tell us in the comments if you can see us, if you can receive well, if you can hear me. And tell us from where you are. So tell us what degree you study, from where, which country or for which state you came. And today we are going to have as our guest Mr. Peter John Okoro. So we are just waiting for him to come. Meanwhile, I will hope I will just ask you to tell us in the comments. So tell us from where you came, which degree you are studying, which opportunities you are looking for, and we should start soon, inshallah. So I will just take a look at the comments. Hello, welcome Maraski Garumi, welcome, thank you. Hello Iman, hi. So I can see that Mr. John is with us now. Hello Mr. John, can you hear us? Hello. I think Mr. John is having like a connection problem. It's a common problem in this period for all of us. So just to introduce you, Mr. John is an alumni DAAD scholar from 2017 till now, and he will tell us about the DAAD scholarship. He will tell us how the application process goes, and we'll just wait for him to real connection. Hello. Hi, Mr. John. Hello. Can you hear us? Oh, yes. Hello. Can you hear us, Mr. John? Sir John, sorry. Hello. I think there is a problem. Mr. John, can you hear us? Because we can't hear you. I think Mr. John, he's having like a serious connection problem. So meanwhile, just let us talk about what is the DAAD scholarship or the DAAD organization. Meanwhile, so for the DAAD organization, it's the exchange in English, of course. It's the exchange. It's the Academy of Exchange Service. So it's an organization that is aimed to help financially international students and to help them studying, to help them in their academics. And it was founded in 1925, and so since then, it has funded more than 2 million people, and with all various programs, its programs are fully funded. And for the meantime, they are yes, it's fully funded, and for the meantime, they are. Yes, hello, Mr. John. I think. Hello. So, Mr. John, if you can hear us, can you speak so we can hear you? We can hear you, Mr. John.
Hello.
Yes, hello, Mr. John. We can hear you. Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yes,
Good evening
yes,
from
we
here.
can hear you. Good evening. Hi, how are you doing?
I am good. And you? I hope you are doing good. I've been facing network problem from this area. I've been trying to connect this evening. It rained around here this evening, so the network is a bit down. That's why.
Yes, yes, it is. It is actually a common problem. It's a common problem for all of us. So there is no problem. The most important thing is that you are here, and we are so glad to have you here today with us. So. We were talking about the DAAD organization, so just like an introduction. To begin with, you said that that organization it's the largest organization in the world that is helping international students from developing countries by providing fully funded scholarships to all students to study various kinds of programs. And as a start, we would like to know from you how was the application process for you? And what was like how was the beginning, how was the application process, the documents and everything?
Yeah. Um, Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So, um, DAD, like I heard you mentioning before, is an organization in Germany. It's called German Academic Exchange Service. It says that they try to train individuals, and after training these individuals, they want these individuals to give back to the society. So they invest in your country and invest in your country. That is why it is an exchange service. So there are a lot of things that are required to apply for a DAD scholarship. So a lot of things we see on the internet, people see, there are many links. People try to put a lot of links on internet, telling people about scholarships and all that. So actually, some of them are fake, and some are real. So you could see a lot of people when you tell them that they can actually get scholarship to do their masters or PhD in Germany or any other country, mostly in African countries. They say no, none of them are fake.
Yes. Yes, of course, because a lot of us are, most of the students are looking for not just any scholarship. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah. Network.
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. John.
Okay, good.
Yes, we can hear you. So what was Mr. John saying is that that the DAAD organization is a German organization, as we said before, that is funding students from developing countries specifically to find scholarships, all kinds of scholarships to study under no cost, like they don't have to think about the living costs and study costs. All they have to do is to study, and there are, of course, some requirements. So meanwhile, Mr. John is having an internet issue, so we will just begin by mentioning what are the requirements of the DAAD scholarship. And by the way, you can find this opportunity in our website, geoplatform.com, and like you will find many opportunities, scholarships, internships, fellowships, and all kinds of opportunities, and this one specifically, and you will find all the details as well as the application form and the official link to go to the DAAD official site. So just to talk about the requirements, so one of the major things that you know about the DAAD scholarships is that it's not just one program scholarships. It has various programs to study, like economics, like management, like literacy, like mathematics, and many programs. So, and also one of the important things to know about it, and not many people know this, is that you can choose a maximum of 3 subjects to study, and you can study in various universities. So each program is in a separate university, and you can study that program. So to talk about the requirements, so you have to the first thing that you need to have is the experience, like the work experience. One has to submit or to show that he have or she has or he has 2 years, at least 2 years work experience in a relevant field. So, and this work experience needs to have a certificate. Mr. John is here. So, hello, Mr. John. Can you hear us? Hi.
Yeah, can
Hi.
hear you very well. Yeah.
Great, we can hear you too. So, so meanwhile, you are not here. I was talking about the requirements, and we started with the work experience. Like I saw that it's the most important thing among the requirements. Like one should have at least 2 years experience in a relevant in a relevant field, and it has to be certified from his employer. Like his employer has to give him like a certificate that's of employment. Can you give us more details about this specific requirements? Because many has many questions about it. Like, what if I have only 6 months work experience in different fields, or on what basis they can say that this experience is relevant or not?
Okay, thank you. The most important thing is that when you're applying for a DAAD scholarship, so the documents that are actually required of you. So many people, their documents will not be complete in the start application. So along the line, you see that some documents are not complete, and then you might have problem with completing your application. One of the major requirements is proposal. research proposal is very, very critical when it comes to scoring a DAAD scholarship. So by the time you are applying for a particular program, we have masters, we have PhD. So I will first start with the one of masters. So when you are applying for a particular program, like was earlier said by Amira, on the different departments or different disciplines, like we have economics, we have political science, we have other disciplines. So you have to understand the particular requirement for that discipline. But the most important thing, if you're applying for masters, for example, is your research proposal. So they will look at how relevant your research proposal is. So you want to study, for instance, development. So that particular proposal, what relevant is it to the society?
Okay, great. So the research proposal, of course, is very important for a master's degree and also for a PhD degree. Because as we all know, when you are applying for a master's degree, you will have like a professor as a supervisor, and one cannot have a supervisor if he didn't show why his project or why his idea or what are the steps, why his project is very important, what change will this project add to the field that he's interested in. So if you want to know, of course, how to write a research proposal, or how, if you are a beginner or if you don't know how to write a research proposal, you can always go to the website and research proposal, and you can all learn how to write research proposal. Also, there are other resources about how to write a motivation letter, how to write a CV, so that you can stand out to the standards. And just to continue, we were talking about the work experience. So for the work experience, as I said before, the requirement is that your employer or your current employer has to give you a certificate that you are working under his command at least for 2 years. And there is something also Mr. John mentioned, is that your documents must be complete. This is very important thing to highlight. Hello again. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. John. So yeah, so you said that or you emphasized on the research proposal how much it is important. Also, what about work experiences? How are work experience or having more at least 2 years or more than 2 years in work experience is relevant for a person to have?
Sorry for all the inconveniences. Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, Mr. Okay, Mr. John is having like serious connection problems. So just to continue with the requirements, besides the work experience, you need to submit your motivation and your CV. So the motivation letter is so important. In the motivation letter, there is a small thing to mention. Hi, Mr. John, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Yeah. So please, everybody should bear with me. it rained here, and we'll have network problem. So
Yes, of course.
when we're talking about the research proposal, I was actually talking about having a research proposal that is very catchy. So there are issues within that. It has actually identified a gap that it wants to solve in the society. So when they want to look at your proposal, what they will look at is um, what a problem, because some of us want to do research, but we're actually not trying to see that research is all about identifying a problem and solving it through research. So if
Great.
you are trying to write a proposal, you should be able to identify a gap. It has written something maybe on a particular topic. So what are you trying to original a proposal?
Okay, great. So one has to be specific. So that's the point. One has to be specific when writing a research proposal, because as mentioned before, one has to specify. You can't just one can't be vague or just be general and not specify the what he's going to research about, especially for a master, second master, or PhD degree, where one is really into the specialty. So to continue our talk,
Okay.
we will
So
continue with the motivation letter. Yes, Mr. John,
that
can
is
you
it.
hear
So
us?
when you're talking about that proposal, so once it identifies a gap, when they see, okay, there is now a gap, and then you want to solve it as a researcher. So that's when it becomes possible for them to see your research proposal as something that needs to be taken for that scholarship.
Great,
So it
great. So,
has maybe next time when we have time, we are trying to look at proposal for your DAAD. So
okay,
like
great.
she was
So,
saying, another one is the motivation letter
yes,
after
that's
the proposal.
what I was going to ask
Yeah.
you about.
So
Yeah,
the motivation letter is also very, very critical, just like the proposal. In fact, in the motivation letter, what they will expect from you is why you are applying for that particular program. They want to see your background. They want to see a brief introduction about your background, what you have done so far, and then why you are applying for that particular program. So, since you are applying
great.
for that program, what are you going to do with it after you have been offered that scholarship and you complete your program? What do you want to do with
Okay,
it?
great. So, Mr. John, here I have like more specific question about the motivation letter. So, what if someone wants to join in more than one program? Does he have or he
Okay.
must to write one motivation letter for each program, or just gathering motivation letter for all the three programs? Because they allow a person with a maximum of three programs to apply in, and specify more why he or she wants that program, each of the three programs specifically.
Okay. So when we are writing a motivation, you have applied for three programs at the same time. So what happened here is that you don't need to write motivation letters for the three. What you need to write is just one motivation letter. But you are going to highlight which particular one that, because you have to score them, the three of them. Why do you want these three programs? And which one have you prioritized? So you have to prioritize a particular one. You say, number one, this is the first choice, this is the second choice, and this is the third choice. So why is the other one the third choice? You need to highlight them. So still on one motivation letter.
Great, great. That's great to hear. So just remember, guys, you have to be very specific with your motivation letter. And also here, if you want to know how to write or how to begin with a motivation letter, we have such a resource in our website, how to write a winning motivation letter. So meanwhile, let's go to the third requirement that is very critical, very important, yet many of us do not know how to tackle it, which is the CV. So how does one write a CV for DAAD scholarship, and what he needs to emphasize on more, like the education part, the experience part, the extra curriculum part, what specifically?
Okay, so when you are writing a CV, so you have to ensure there is a particular format that is being accepted, especially if you are looking for a DAAD in Germany. I remember the one I filled for a friend in that was in Ethiopia is the program that Leipzig University in Germany. So they could
hello, Mr. John. We can't really hear you. So what Mr. John was saying is that one has to write the CV for the DAAD specifically in a particular format. This format is the Europass format. So they provide you in the requirements, to provide you with a link where you can go to that site and write your CV in that format. Just to mention here, there is one note to mention is that if you are going to study in English, so if you submitted the first document in English, then the whole document needs to be submitted in English. And if you submitted the first document in Germany or German language, the whole document needs to be submitted in the German language. And so we move to speaking about English and Germany. Will lead us to speak about the English or the language requirements. So for the language requirements, let's start with the German ones. So the German requirements for the courses that are taken in German language, you need to have a level of at least B2 in the German language, and also one has to take the DHS test or the test in order in the particular university that he will join in order just to be accepted for the application. So these two requirements, these two tests are a must for each DAAD applicant, and there are plenty of resources like to prepare for the HS and for both the tests. Also, we provided these links in our resources part, in the resource How to Study in Germany, in our website, platform.com. So we will go also to another requirement, which is what we were talking about the work experience, and there is also an additional requirement that is important to mention about it. So we said before that your employer needs to give you certificates. Hello, hi again, Mr. John. So waiting for Mr. John to join us again. I will continue with what I was saying about the requirements, the work requirements or the work experience. So for the work experience, your employer does not just need to give you a certificate that you are working under his command, for at least 2 years, but also he needs to give you like a guarantee that he commands you to work under his command after you finish the program. So you will find all these requirements in the website, so in the opportunity in the website, so it's very critical. Hello, hi again, Mr. John, can you hear us? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. CV. So we have a particular format for CV. We are going to Germany once.
Yeah.
Europass
Yes, what
is the format. Europass Europass. So
okay, great. So for that's for the CV. So what about
hello, can you hear me?
yes, Mr. John, I can hear you. We can all hear you actually. So we're talking going from the CV to from motivation letter to the CV. We need to go to the work experience. So do they emphasize on the work experience at least 2 years in a relevant field? Can you give us more details about what does the relevant mean?
Yeah, hello. Promise to next time the network kind of failing me today. So,
It is okay. We can hear you now actually. All right, so waiting for Mr. John. So while I was talking about what the work experience or the employer, so he needs to give you a guarantee that he recommends you to work under his command after you finish the program. There are other requirements that are important also. So but the most important to remember are your research proposal, of course, if you are a Master 2 or a PhD scholar, your motivation letter you need to submit, or you need to emphasize very well on the motivation letter why you are doing what you are doing, why you are submitting or you are entering this program. Like it's this simple thing that to know that the committee or the admission committee do not know who you are, and so they will know who you are from your motivation letter. And in case, this is very important, in case you are applying for more than programs, so you need to emphasize in one motivation letter why you are submitting in each program, or while you are enrolling in each program, and you need to set priorities, like this is the first program that I want, this is second, this is the third. And also for the work experience, at least 2 years of work experience, like relevant work experience that is related to the field. Also for the English requirements, we didn't talk about the English language requirements. The IELTS. The IELTS are like a minimum of 6 on scale. Also, the TOEFL is 660 on scale. That's the minimum, and the institutional IELTS is not, or the institutional TOEFL is not accepted by the DAAD committee. Many of you may ask if the Duolingo English test is accepted by the DAAD committee or not, because it's the trend English tests in this period of Corona. I hope you are all doing well, and all your families from this sickness. So may God reserve you. So about the Duolingo, they really didn't mention in their website or in the requirements whether they accept or they do not accept the Duolingo English test. So what good to do, what is recommended to do in this case is to ask the particular university, because as you may know, the application process goes like this. So you apply, you send your documents to the specific, to the specific. And after that, I said, the whole documents need to be sent to the website. After that, with your chosen program and everything. And after that, you will submit before the corona. You will submit for the people that are like places where you submit your documents. So for people from North Africa, like Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, they all submit their documents in Tunisia. Hi, Mr. John. We can hear you.
Yeah, hi.
Hi again. So what we were talking about, so we talk about the CV, we talk about the motivation letter, and we need to move to talk about the work experience. So how does it is required that they have minimum 2 years of work experience at least, and what other restrictions need one to have on the work experience, especially that it has to be relevant to the field.
Okay, so concerning the work experience, relevant to the field, some particular advert will say uh, relevant to the field. Some do not specify. So what they want is that you have 2 years minimum work experience. So it is not actually that it must relate to that particular field you are going for, but that you have 2 years experience after your first degree. So
Yes.
for those who are going for PhD, for instance, um, they also want work experience, not that particular one you have after your masters, but those ones.
So what was Mr. John saying is that you need to have work experience. If you are applying for a master's, you need to have at least 2 years work experience from your first degree. So and if you are a PhD student, it's not the same work experience that you are going to submit for, or the same certificates that you are going to submit for as that of the master's. Yes, Mr. John? We really can't hear you well. Yeah, so as I was saying, for a PhD, for the PhD applicants, so you need not to submit the same certificate or the same work experience as that you had in the masters. That's of course in case
After your first degree. These are
Hello, yeah. Exactly. So I guess Mr. Jean was saying the same thing that I explained to you before. Now, meanwhile, Mr. Ron is coming, so we will just go with. I hope that you are taking notes in your notebook. Otherwise, this live is going to be recorded actually, so you can watch it. Watch it afterwards if you couldn't finish it all. So. Okay, so about the Duolingo test or English language test, you will need to ask the particular university to send them an email, and they will respond. Actually, they respond whether they accept that you are that applicant, and whether they accept your Duolingo English test proficiency or not. And if it's accepted, then it's well for you. Also, now I guess it's time to answer some of the questions of our audience today. So, do we have any questions? I will just see here. Yes, hello, Fatih Bouchabah. So, hello. Thank you for being with us today. So, yes, of course, it is open for everyone for all international students from all developing countries. So, you can submit your documents for North Africa specifically. I'm speaking about Algeria, Morocco, and Tunisia. They all submit their documents in Tunisia. So, in the DAAD office in Tunisia. But for the current period, because of Corona, because no one really can travel, you will have, of course, to send all your documents. And mentioning this, thank you for your question. So mentioning this, you need to make a copy of each document in your application. So each document, the motivation letter, the CVs, the transcripts, of course, your degrees, your bachelor or master's or PhD degrees, you need to make a copy of each document. Thank you for your question, Fatih. Hi again, Mr. John.
Yeah, hi, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you actually. So we have some questions from our audience. We actually answered the first question. We go to the next one. Yes, so thank you, Jawhara Mohsin, for your question. You can apply, you can actually start from now because the deadline is on November. So you can start preparing your documents, preparing yourself for the application, and apply as soon as possible. And remember that the documents must be all complete. Like they won't accept incomplete documents. So that's. I wish I answered your question. Thank you for your question. Iman Ait is asking, is B2 level? Hello, Mr. John.
Yes.
Hello. Can you? We can hear you. Yes, we can hear. So we are actually answering some of our audience questions. And Iman is asking, hello, Iman, is B2 level needed also for applications to a postdoc, knowing that in research we generally need English, and especially in a technical field like computer science or so? Yes. So B2 level, before talking about the program, we talk about the visa requirements. So for the visa in general, you will need German test or German proficiency, a certificate that shows that you are very good in German, and it's at least B2 level. So this is a requirement for the embassy. Whether you are studying an English related program or not an English related program, you need to submit this certificate, and it has to be at least a B2 level. So for the program, for the programs of the DAAD, the English certificate is needed only for the German language, for the programs that are studied in German. But with that, you will need also to take a test, which is the DHS test. And this test, you will take it in the university, like in the respective university, after getting accepted by it, of course. Otherwise, you will need to submit for your English program, your IELTS or your TOEFL. And of course, as I said, for the Duolingo, we will need to ask them for it. Yes, so we have another question from Haytham. Greish. Do the results we get in our school years affect our acceptance to the scholarship? Well, this will depend on the prospective program actually, and the prospective university as well. So the university is the one that specifies which program you will be enrolled, which degrees you need or which grades you need. But generally, the requirements are generally above above. You need to have scales above the above scale, like 2.5 or 3 GPA. But as I told you, so this will depend really on the program. And Mr. John is, I guess, he's back with us again. Hi, Mr. John, can you hear us well? He is not here again.
Problem.
So,
and I know next time I will make it up, honestly. So I believe, yeah, this is a start, but next time it will not rain here, so we'll have a good network.
It's okay. So so we were actually answering some of our audience's questions, and many of them are asking about the GPA. So the one needs to have a high GPA in order to enroll in a particular program or in one of the DAAD scholarships in general.
Yeah, actually, the GPA is very important. So, for instance, I know some will say not less than second class of our division. Some will say like just say 60% of the total result. For instance, if you having 3 point GP in your school, so it's better that you have at least 3.5. Even though I have seen someone with third class who got a scholarship to do master.
Okay, great. So here I have. Great. So here I have also another question related to this. You were talking about GPA. If someone is highly like active in community service and such like activities, but he really doesn't have a good GPA, so does he have a chance, or she has a chance in order to get accepted, or she can apply?
Yes, if you have a lot of activities, like you have a lot of things on your CV, many things.
Okay, so what was Mr. John saying is that even if you don't have a good GPA, this is I think the answer for Haytham. If you didn't have a good GPA, you can of course apply. So if you are enrolled very well, very also active in community service, in various activities, organizations, clubs. So of course, as according to what Mr. John said, you can of course apply. You need to get your chance anyway, so you don't need to restrict yourself. Do we have? Let's take another question. Do we have any other questions? So we have another question from Iman. Are there any programs or fellowships for junior scientists, like in Type C for senior scientists, like 3 months or 6 months? So This is a very good question. So the DAAD scholarships are generally for masters and PhD students, and they really don't specify if you are junior or senior scientists. So if you are masters or PhD students, you want to get involved. If, of course, in PhD related programs, you will get involved in research and. Yeah, like you can apply for PhD program. A period program of so the DAAD scholarship or the DAAD programs are a minimum of 2 years programs. So if you are looking like for an opportunity of 3 months or 6 months, that means that you're looking for an internship. So I hope that I answered your question. Thank you, Iman. Let's take another question.
Yeah. So can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, Mr. John.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Hi again.
Yeah.
So we had a question. Yes, last week we were talking about the GPA, and you said that yes, someone if he has a high activity in community service organizations and clubs, he can of course apply for the scholarship. Yes. So we were having we are having more questions from our audience. I can see here in the questions from Raja. So she's asking that she's studying microbial biotechnology, and she's looking for a scholarship for a master's degree in biology. So whether she can apply or she can't apply for the scholarship. I really think that you should check the list of the DAAD the programs offered by the DAAD. What do you think, Mr. John?
Yeah, actually. So what is important is to look at what has been advertised. So in a particular university, because DAAD we're talking about, they collaborate with a particular university to offer a scholarship. So you need to look at what that particular university offers. So, but the truth is that anybody who has studied microbiology can do biology. Yeah, but you have to look at what that particular university is doing, because you have to get admission first from the host university before the scholarship can be given to you.
Great. Okay, so yes, so this is the answer for Raja. So you need to check the program, as we said, of the particular university, whether it has a master's or PhD program related to your topic, and also you can check for the particular university whether they have any other type or kinds of scholarships, because each chance leads to the other. So do we have more questions to take? So this is a question from Mohammed Nas. He's asking, do you have any internships? Yes, Mohammed, we do have many internships. So when you get into the website, you can filter out through all the opportunities. You can choose international, whether your chosen opportunity is international or national. Also, you can filter out whether the opportunity you want is an internship, a job, or generally you will find the internships under the category of jobs and internships, but you can also look for other opportunities. Thank you for your question. So do we have any other question? Yes, we have another question from Hassan. What are the chances for someone who studies engineering to get a scholarship in business? Yes, so a very good question, actually. So here you want to shift career, and if you want to shift career, you will need to emphasize that, and you will need to show that in your motivation letter. So in your motivation letter, as Mr. John said before, you will need to emphasize and to specify and to tell them to reflect or to show your high motivation. Why do you want to shift from engineering to business? Because in this case, or in your case, they are totally not related subjects like engineering and business, and you maybe you can demonstrate some of your activities where you were like highly involved in business, like you were like project manager, or you own a certain like a certain small business, and you need to show your motivation to shifting from a career to another, and this all need to be written in your motivation letter. Thank you for your question. We have another question for Iman. So she's asking, do I need to have a host if I am applying for a postdoc, or I need only my research proposal and the other documents for the application? Yes, Mr. Paul? Can you hear us?
Hello, I can hear you.
Yeah. So we have a question.
Yeah.
So we have a question from.
To have a host if you apply for a postdoc.
Yeah. Does she need to have a host or not?
What does what does she mean by? Is it the host of the university? I want to understand what she means by that.
Yeah, I think that what Iman means is that she need to have a host once she gets to Germany, like where she will live. That the scholarship will cover her living costs and where she will stay, or she will need to look for a host to host her or to stay with in Germany.
Concerning the I get it now. Issue the advert that is
we couldn't hear what you were saying just in a few seconds. Can you please repeat? Yes, so I think Mr. John went lost again. It's okay. So so to answer your question, Iman, actually the scholarship covers, it's fully funded, and it covers all your expenses, your living costs, your study costs. So it basically you will not need to have a host to stay with in Germany, and you will like they will give you like a place where to stay. So we go to another question by Iman. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. You will need a supervisor. So that's the supervisor that you were talking about. Because if you are applying for postdoc, you will need to make research, and in order to make a research, you will need a supervisor. And your research proposal is going to be read by your supervisor in order to accept or not to accept your project or the project that you want to research about. Hi again, Mr. John.
Yes. So you are actually in order. And there's one thing about
Yes, so we will have another question now. Do we have another question? Do we have other question from any of our audience? So I have here a question from Manuel. Yes, Mr. John. So I have here a question from Alwani Qasim. So he says, hello, hi Qasim. I am Qasim from Algeria, and I'm asking for scholarships for doctorate electronics. Yes, so if you, as asked before by one of the audiences, like you need to check the list, or you need to check the list of the programs that are offered by the DAAD scholarships. So, do we have any other question? I think that we do not have any other question from our audience. Let's just take a look. Okay, so here is another very important question from Hamza. So Hamza is asking, hello friends, I have master's degree in electrical engineering, 29 years, married and have 3 years experience in the same field. Can I get that scholarship? I need help, please. So to answer your question, so this will be actually decided by the committee or by the organization. So I really can't give you a very precise answer for this. So meanwhile, let's just I think that we don't have more questions, so I will share my screen and show you how to enter to the website of or to the application form and the official link from our platform. So I will just share my screen here. Just a second. Just a second. I hope that yes, I hope that you can you see, can you tell us in the comment if you can see my screen or you can't? Or just you can right, so you will just need to you can filter out through the screen in order to find, like, to filter out here, to find where like the scholarship is. You can choose international opportunities and you choose scholarships. Then you choose your just choose the country. So the country is Germany. And you will get all the scholarships that are in Germany here. So you go to the DAAD scholarships. Great, so this is the scholarship page. So after you sign up with your account, if you don't have accounts, you can create one. It's totally free without any charges. So you can skip around here through all the details, get an overview, know what's the program that are offered. And if you want to apply, you can hit the button here, which states to apply now. And if you want to go to the official link to know what are other scholarships or what are other programs that are offered, or to see the section of the Q&A for special cases, so you can go to the official link of the DAAD organization. So I hope that I answered the question of people that were asking the link. And so it's pretty easy, right? So now after after we answer the questions, we will go just to get an overall summary about how to apply in the DAAD scholarship. So the first thing is that these scholarships, the deadline is on November. So yes, so it's for master's and PhD students. You need to emphasize that your documents are complete. Second, you write a good motivation letter, a good CV. You emphasize that you have work experience, at least 2 years in a relevant field, and you will send your applications through the website. And of course, you will if because of the current pandemic, and you will need to submit your of course there will be an interview, like they will send you an email when you get accepted to make an interview, and after the interview you will get if you are accepted to the respective program, you will receive another email, and the scholarship is fully funded. You will get a monthly stipend, like a monthly stipend of money in order to finance yourself. You will need, for the English language requirements, you will need the IELTS or the TOEFL, and for the German language requirements, you will need at least a B2 level in the German language. And yes, I hope that that's all actually. I hope that you all benefits from today's live. Sorry for the interruption with Mr. John. He seems like he really had serious connection problems today. It's a common problem for all of us, and if you give us your feedback, give us your in the comments, give us your feedback or in messages via our page. If you have any questions, if you have anything else to ask us, what do you want for the next lives maybe. So thank you so much, and see you next time, inshallah. Goodbye.